One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family.
Good morning and welcome to SoulCall Sunday. My name is Lisa Ferraro, and we welcome you wherever you are on the planet. And if you're watching this at a later date and it's not Sunday, we welcome you as well. And thank you for tuning in as we are exploring the month of December. And the theme is From Darkness to Light. I'm going into the dark to find the light and bringing forth the light as we weave our way one day at a time into the winter solstice coming up next week already. So today we're going to explore the idea of being the light. Be the light and what that means. And then we're going to dip into a tradition found in India called Diwali, which actually started and ended in mid to late October. But it's kind of ushering in the idea of light and what the tradition is there of light, Diwali. But this morning, as we usher in the light into our consciousness, we welcome Deborah Weisenberger-Lippitz to offer a Qigong practice, which is bringing in the light, participating with the light within and without. And let's just launch into it this morning with Deborah Weisenberger-Lippitz.
Hello, everyone. All right, we are continuing on with this inner connection through our Qigong practice so that you have an outside experience and gain an inside understanding. All right, as always, either standing or sitting so you're comfortable. Please, from your inside holy space, wherever that is, move forward, backwards, up, down, and every space in between to infinite space. Gather all the healing chi, good wisdom information and pull it back deep inside, uniting, transforming, and gently close the eyes. Immediately, we relax from the inside. Now, please allow your hands to move upward, palms facing inward near the body, all the way up in front of the throat opening. So the inside is like a huge tube of light. Interlace the fingers, turn the palms outward, and extend the arms forward, stretching forward, yet the elbows are not locked. Now allow your chi field to hold your arms and relax. Relax shoulders. Relax the fingers, although they stay interlaced. Continue relaxing. So relax. So relax. Allow your chi field to support you, hold you. Then let go. So Soul. Being held by your chi field, completely relax, trust, accept. Then very gently allow the hands to move down slowly, aware inside is completely open. Then unlace the fingers and place the centers of each palm on top of the navel, du chi, or spirit palace. Then relax the hands to both sides. Gently open the eyes, smiling from the inside out, and give thanks.
I'm just taking in another moment to just realize the beauty of being incarnate in this time-space continuum as who we are and what we represent, what kind of light we bring into being by being the light that we are. And turning our intelligence, our searchlights inward, and allowing ourselves to be in a sacred space of overflowing light, of overflowing love. Oh, infinite light, increase our light everywhere. Unite us with the consciousness of expansive opportunity and awakening the joy found in each bubble of light, each bubble of laughter. Just allow this song to wash over you. It's called Sacred.
So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. 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 I will share, 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 I will share this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. I will share, 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 I will share secret, so precious, this love, so sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. This love, this love, love, this love, this love, this
Sacred. I was looking at that one of those images on the line there. These videos so beautifully put together by Natalia, and co-creating these Sundays is a fun thing to do, and it's also like, deeply meaningful. We take time thinking about what we're presenting, and I haven't seen that video in a while, and it's sometimes, did you ever get the feeling that you just feel like that lonely solo heart hanging on a string, watching the world as if your heart is the looking glass of consciousness? It feels like that. It's not necessarily sad and lonely, but sometimes it feels lonely but not alone. Solitary might be a word. And so but when it's open and just pure like that, the light can get through. You can see right through a pure, open heart without any ideas around it that make it look or feel, or make us look or feel like something we're not. We're talking about being the light, and this month exploring what that means on the outside, as Deborah so beautifully put into play, like recognizing there's light on the outside, but then in addition, recognizing the light on the inside, and how this play, how we could be that open heart that's lonely but not alone. I wrote that in a lyric of a song called In the Meantime. And thinking about what the meantime is, the meantime not as in harsh or intense, but the balance time. In the meantime, we hold the whole thing. We're always holding the infinite universe all at once. It's where we place our attention, where we look. The opportunity that light gives our human eyes is that we can see certain rates of vibration with our human eyes. And there are other rates of vibration and frequency not visible to the naked eye, as they say, without the apparatus of maybe a telescope or something that helps us to see further into fields of light. But what happens when we close our eyes? And through deep silent meditation, sometimes the most important, when you talk to people who joined into the yoga practice this morning, if you spoke with Natalia about that, Shavasana, that last pose, it's a pose. It's some people call it dead man's pose. That's how I heard it first. But Shavasana, it's when you just lie there. You lay on your mat and you're very still. It's this integration process of an appreciation process, allowing the body to integrate that beautiful practice, the light. When we sit in silent meditation, different forms of asanas where we're also silent and still, and integrating light that's coming from outside, but also within. Sometimes we see those lights. We see that light in our third eye. Sometimes we see that light of pure consciousness. So being that transparent, open being that allows things to flow in and out of it and not holding on to it so exactly. So being the light. I was thinking about this morning in Shavasana. I did just like a 10-minute yoga practice, squeezed it in, which is not probably the best thing, but I guess it's better than nothing. Squeezing 10 minutes in is better than nothing. I was thinking about a candle. When we light candles, you'll see, remember the old fashioned in the 18th century when you light a candle and you would get a vessel, a glass vessel, and place it, slide it down over the top of the candle so you could walk around without blowing the candle out. It kind of, when you light the candle, the light goes everywhere. When you put the glass vessel on it, it contains it somewhat. It directs it somewhat. And so being the light, when we are incarnate, this light is in these beautiful vessels. Well, what happens when we slip out of the vessel of these human forms? Our light goes everywhere. And what if we could put that into practice with our consciousness while we are still incarnate? Have that experience of as within, so without, as without, so within, while we're walking around, expanding our light, expanding what we can see, expanding our vision to incorporate more possibility in our humanity, in our existence as who we are, like forgetting the things that kind of give us the herd mentality. Sometimes there's this idea that there were only certain master teachers that came to the planet, and they're not even master teachers, they're the exalted ones, and they were it. Meanwhile, all they were trying to teach us was how we are it too. So there are different ways, kind of like training wheels on a bicycle. Whatever we use to help us to train our minds to harness a larger consciousness, train our minds how to expand, to take in more. It doesn't matter what kind of training wheels, as long as they fit your bike. And then you don't need them anymore. And you're allowed to ride your bicycle wherever you'd like. You can go anywhere. But once we figured out what unlocks us, so in this mentoring process of bringing different ideas to you through SoulCall, it is to unleash or open the corral doors, open the barn door, and let your consciousness out, free to move about the universes, whatever there is to be experienced within. We are a walking universe of light and consciousness. So being the light is what we're exploring today and dipping into Diwali. And so I thought it would be fun to see, what is light anyway? And in its most basic form, light or visible light commonly refers to electromagnetic radiation that can be detected by the human eye. Electromagnetic radiation as the same, and it describes fluctuations of electric and magnetic fields. Fluctuations of electric and magnetic fields. So if we're being the light, which we are, in fact, representations of a light, we can fluctuate with our magnetic fields. Did you ever just have somebody who's just, their spiritual magnetism is just so great, you just want to be around them? They make you feel better. They bring you up to a higher level. The joy factor, people who make us laugh. We like being around laughter because it sparks that joy of remembrance of the lightheartedness of our approach to something that seems so real and hard and fixed. And sometimes the pressure to be something. Be who you are. Be who we are. Whatever that means to us. So do we realize that we in fact are traveling bundles of particle and wave, as quantum physics suggests? So Einstein brought in this theory of, he states that light travels in bundles of energy, and each bundle of energy is known as a photon. Each photon carries a quantity of energy equal to the product of the frequency of vibration of that photon. So if we're a traveling bundle of photons, what is the frequency? It says it in both of these definitions. There's a fluctuation of electric and magnetic fields, of energy, of frequency. So then the next question I asked was, well, what is it that dictates or affects changes in vibration and frequency of light? And it's consciousness. Now, quantum physics also tells us that if we look upon something, if a human being or somebody looks or watches an event take place, just by the fact that we're looking at it, it alters it. It alters the outcome slightly. Why is that? Because we are projectors of light and consciousness. So if we recognize that the temple of God is within, right, that soul is within, we are walking temples then. We are walking bundles of photons, of energy, of frequency and vibration. And so that kind of leads into the practice of and the recognition of the festival celebrated in India. It's the largest celebration in India. It's kind of like Christmas to Christians. And even people who aren't Christian celebrate Christmas in some shape or form by bringing in the lights. The timing of it, sometimes it's called Christmas. It could be the winter solstice. We could call it whatever we want, but it's of this time of year. Diwali is the largest festival of lights, and it gets its name from these clay lamps. And I think we've got some images to share of Diwali as I read this. How beautiful. The festival gets its name from a row of avali, or clay lamps, and that Indians used in their temples and outside of their homes to symbolize the inner light that protects from spiritual darkness. These lights symbolize and represent the inner light that protects us from spiritual darkness. And they're so beautiful. They create, as you can see there, they decorate their homes with clay lamps and create designs and patterns called rangoli on the floor using colored powders of sand. That's what you're looking at right there, colored powders of sand. And that single pointed concentration and focus on bringing this beautiful light from within. Some people could look at that and suggest that is the chakra system. When we look inside, those of you who meditate on the wheels of energy in our bodies, they resonate to a different frequency. They vibrate to a frequency of sound, and they have tone then, and also different vibrations of color. So different lights. So lighting up the Christmas tree of our own consciousness, so to speak. We'll dip into that a little bit more next week. But for this week, it's Diwali. And let's pay attention to what the practice is. It's a 5-day celebration that usually starts in mid-October, around October 15th. And the tradition began in 527 before Common Era. And so I've been practicing this for a long time, bringing forth. So day one, people clean their homes and shop for gold or kitchen utensils to help bring good fortune. So they clean their home. So if we're looking at the material representation on our bodies of what that first day might be, cleaning, maybe we go on a fast, maybe we clear out old thoughts that no longer serve us, thoughts of limitation, thoughts of what we did yesterday, who we were yesterday. That could be a tough one, depending on how, I think of who we were yesterday. Sometimes that could be as deeply entrenched as, I think of Moses coming down from the mountain with 2 tablets with commandments etched into them, whether that's a metaphor or not. Sometimes our consciousness, our thoughts get so ingrained. It's as if they are etched in stone in our minds, when in fact our minds and consciousness are malleable. And there's the plasticity of the brain. Science is just starting to realize how incredibly flexible our minds, our brains are to accommodate new information that serves the whole in a much higher frequency and rate of vibration. Incredible. So we invite it in. Day 2, people decorate their homes with clay lamps and create those design patterns called rangoli on the floor using colored powders and sand. So first we clean, get prepared for the new idea, then they create. They bring in the light and a representation of the color and the beauty of this new wave of consciousness, this new wave of light, and the possibility of what we can co-create in alignment with this light. On day 3, which is the main day of the festival, families gather together for Lakshmi Puja. And Mahalakshmi was a deity in Hindu philosophy of abundance. You'll see Mahalakshmi sometime, most of the time depicted standing on just a mountain of gold coins, just a very abundant. It's hard to miss Lakshmi. She's the goddess, and they pray to her, followed by mouth-watering feasts and firework festivities. Mouth-watering feasts, that's another way. The beauty of being incarnate is that we get to taste the deliciousness of immersing ourselves into life with a rate of frequency and a high vibration of consciousness that we can feel the light, experience the colors, taste the deliciousness of consciousness as it's incarnate in these beautiful forms, and celebrate with friends and family. So we bring together love in this celebration. That's where you find friends and family who resonate with you. It's like your resonant tribe, who you want to spend time with in this vibration. And then day 4, it's the first day of the new year, when friends and relatives outside of the immediate, tribe, visit with best wishes for the season. So it's just creating a whole wave of body, mind, spirit. They do something for the mind, clear the consciousness, something for the creative process, creativity, contemplation, meditation, as SoulCall goes, and creating opportunities to bring forth something of beauty from within, celebrating with your tribe, then celebrating with a larger tribe. And this one is interesting, the birth of a new consciousness. Then day 5, brothers visit with their married sisters who welcome them with love and a lavish meal. What a cool way of bringing into balance some harmonious, like the spectrums of the masculine, feminine, and everything in between. This incremental shift of the marriage between positive, negative charge on planet Earth. We live in this world of duality, is of positive, negative, doesn't mean good or bad, but it is that, and it brings that together, offering love to each other to create single point of concentration, again, balancing of just pure humanity, bringing forth the best of its nature forward through the remembrance of light. And so in Jainism, Diwali marks the nirvana or spiritual awakening of their Lord Mahavira, and Buddhists in India celebrate Diwali as well. And in Sikhism, it honors the day that Guru Hargobind Jai, the 6th Sikh Guru, was freed from imprisonment. When I thought about that, freed from imprisonment, I think of the first thing some of us think of maybe is imprisonment of the body. When we take the body, remove it from society and put it someplace. It's not the body necessarily that acted improperly. It was the mind, the thought that acted on the body that prevented us from being truly free. So Diwali is the celebration of liberation of those thoughts that no longer serve the whole. Interestingly, when we're talking about Albert Einstein bringing that theory of relativity and recognizing that we are photons, we are walking vibrations of light. Albert Einstein also said you can't solve a problem with the same thinking that presented the problem in the first place. So exchanging ideas until you can rise to a higher level of functioning, a higher vibration, to bring forth a new idea. So maybe an idea takes us so far, and then all of a sudden we find it's time to grow. Like, hey, this worked for now. What are we doing next? Just like in SoulCall, we're having a meeting at the beginning of the year to roll forth a 5-year plan. Like, what are we doing in the future? How are we doing this together with all of you, in the individuals that make the whole? And so you can materialize anything you want with your thought and with the vibration of consciousness. We talk about miracles often. And what's a miracle? There's a really great song. The only miracle is everything's a miracle. So the logical thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. And miraculous things happen when we are in alignment. When we're in alignment, we can bring forth anything. And so if we're putting this together, bringing forth the light, what our visible eyes project and what we can see forward, if we are that candle, if we take off the vessel that limits our thoughts and allow ourselves to focus in a straight line, what we would like most to see in this new year as we dip into the darkness, we're getting close to the shortest day of the year with the least outer light. This is when we can take that opportunity to find that inner light and bring forth, like Diwali, those beautiful colors. Light the lamp of thy love. There's a beautiful chant. In thy house, with thine own hands, light the lamp of thy love. Thy transmuting lamp entrancing. Wondrous are its rays. Finding that inner joy, that soul calling, that is the stamp of the light of your being. So being the light is just clearing away whatever you thought you were, that vessel, and becoming more of what you are. So be positive and develop your own spiritual magnetism, and you will have the power to change yourself and affect positive change on the world. I mean, with your eyes, you can project magnetism. So if I used to play this game when I was first playing with the concept of being light, after meditation, I would walk out into the world and I would pretend that before I realized I wasn't actually pretending, it was actually affecting the change. Everything I looked at, I would project light onto it. Light, I'm looking at the corner of the room, I'd project light onto that. If I'm looking at a person talking to them, I could be not distracted and not listening, but projecting light, projecting love. Anyone I look at, anything I see gets lit up. It's like my eyes become searchlights attached to my heart, that pure, hanging, lonely, lone heart. The lonely one is filled with the infinite. Lonely but not alone. Alone but not lonely. There's a difference. This solitary way of opening to infinity makes us become friends with the world, because it doesn't have to look a certain way for us to be okay. You know, as we're talking about gratitude and grace, grace is my +1. Sometimes just being okay with what's happening in the moment doesn't mean you love it or you want to see more of it necessarily. But sometimes seeing what's actually happening, you can be the one to be the light and bring light to a situation that might need a little help, maybe a lift in vibration. Consider the fact that we're always placed right where we need to be at any given moment. We can be the light. It doesn't have to be on a grand sweeping scale, but if you affect a positive change just by bringing light to one simple idea, one person at a time, what a world we can create. It's like being the matchstick of consciousness and allowing it to happen for us. So being powerfully peaceful in the presence of infinite light. Being a light could be considered that, being powerfully peaceful in the presence of infinite light. So slip off that vessel that holds you tight in the idea of who you think you are, and allow yourself to become the light of pure consciousness, trusting that the infinite materializes in form, that which we can conceive, conceptualize, really conceive in our minds. Think about conception of a human body. Natalia and I just put forth that book on signs and symbols of our ancestors. We conceived the idea, brought it together, pulled forth the elements. It's almost about 9 months. I'm not sure, Natalia, how long that's been, but it's here and it's ready. We're going to have it available in the bookstore too. But, she got a copy of it. The proof, you can actually hold it in your hand. So everything starts with a conception, an idea. But the more we can reinforce that idea with positive mental energy, tuned into the indomitable force of infinite light, single pointed concentration, focus, keep seeing it and inviting the infinite to fill in with the beautiful colors of consciousness, like the Diwali, decorate, use ornaments on your consciousness. Keep your consciousness beautiful. It's okay to recognize where things are a little bit off the mark, but that's where the work begins, to clear the way for this beautiful consciousness, which is ours. And it's not hard to get to, just one step at a time. So recognizing that we can trust that the infinite light wants to co-create with us and bring forth the form and the function of beauty, of life, of light, and pure joy. Here's a song called Trust.
I wanna trust you in form. after the storm. Glide through the heart and soul of life with love that shines brightly all through the night. I want to trust you in form, every shape, every color, each child that's born. Dance in the openness of life. Straight, stronger than mine. Touch me softly like the wind. Rock me gently like the ocean. Wrap around me like the moon ever glowing. I wanna trust you in form. I wanna trust you in form. Like a flower bending to the sun. I want you to be my world. Yeah, yeah, I want you to be the one. Like a flower bending to the sun. I want you to be the one. I want you to be the one.
I want you to be the one. And I want to share with you right now the light prayer that is a Sufi prayer. And the way the Sufis say it is Nur ala Nur, light upon light. And the blessing is, O infinite beloved, grant me light in my heart, light in my brain, light in my consciousness, light in my eyes, light in my ears, light on my tongue, light in my nose, light in my body, light on my breath. O infinite, increase my light everywhere. And you can add light upon light, as much light as you like. It's a beautiful way to start a morning or to end the day. Just remembering that you are always in a place of love and light, especially when it doesn't feel like it. That's when to summon those reminders of times when the light was there. We just had to look a little deeper or move something out of the way so that we could see it and be it. So be that light in your world this week. Recognize if you meet with something that is challenging, lift your consciousness to a higher vibration If something starts to bring you down, so to speak, there are reasons why we speak like this. That's bringing me down. Laugh or put on your favorite music. I know Natalia's very fond of dance parties. I think I've told you the story where it took us 11 hours to get back from a place that should have taken maybe 5.5. That was a big fat downer, and dance party was in order, and it just lifted our spirits. So if it's putting on a favorite piece of music, allow yourself to feel your feelings, recognize they're valid, and then allow yourself to shift gears, shift into a higher gear, like in the passing lane, getting stuck behind somebody going slow. If you're ever driving with me, you'll experience this often. Spend a lot of time in the passing lane, safely, of course, but just getting around the things that keep you from your destination or keep you from enjoying the journey of life. And so we thank you for being with us this morning. I want to thank every one of you who tuned in for Jazz Up the Holidays last week. Monday, we did the live stream from Pittsburgh, and then we enjoyed Wednesday in Columbus, Ohio. And such a great time. Your donations, so far we are at $5,000 in donations that we are using to help the SoulCall Santa, to help individuals and families internationally. We're going to be sending some funds to Canada, and then a couple of the cities in the United States, Pittsburgh, Denver, Columbus, New York, and probably California, points west. So if you are aware of somebody who is in need this holiday season, please send us a line at info@soulcallglobal.org and let us know who this person is. We've got about 80 families or individuals that we are aware of and we're going to be supporting. Our goal is $10,000. So no amount is too great or too small. And it's soulcallglobal.org/donate. So please take this opportunity to help us to do the work we came to do in this world. Help us. Thank you, Candy. I'm so glad you were there for Jazz Up the Holidays. It was really a fun show. And we're going to do it again next year. Of course, it'll be our 19th annual. A couple of changes, but that's later. I want to thank everybody who is on our prayer team and our healing team. If you are in need of prayer or you know somebody who is, please allow us to be part of your world in the cosmos, in the vibratory rate of lifting the frequency and recharging the body with cosmic intelligence and healing power. Prayers at soulcallglobal.org. Prayers at soulcallglobal.org. And once again, tomorrow night, we will have meditation from 8 to 9 p.m. And you can register for the link at soulcallglobal.org. And a reminder that every Sunday at 8:15, I think we're going to keep doing that. We might take a couple weeks off, but check the website for Yoga with Natalia, Pulling Forth That Light, and register for the Zoom link. And donations are greatly welcomed for both of those opportunities, for the meditations on Monday and for Yoga with Natalia. The donations of Soul Squad, I want to give a shout out to the Soul Squad who did an amazing job on Wednesday night. Thank you for being there. And I want to thank, I was talking a little bit about the vision on Monday night of being able to do a thing for 18 years and seeing a vision come to fruition. And I was saying this to the Soul Squad the other day, most of the people who are in the vision right now, you can have a vision, but without people and partners and people to bring it to fruition, you have a nice vision, but it takes a group of people. No one is an island, and I'm certainly not. So I want to thank Michelle and Care, Candy, Jean, our entire Soul Squad. And I want to thank Natalia. I want to thank Helen. I want to thank Deborah Weisenberger-Lippitz, Christy, and the other teachers who are coming through, Faye Birch, everybody who helped bring this year to some light. Friends who are with us, friends who are no longer with us. In the field of consciousness, it takes beyond a village. It takes a clear consciousness, people who are willing to keep shifting the rate of vibration up and up and up, to be that pure vessel that doesn't hold a lot of ideas and a lot of emotions that hinder a process of pure light and evolution of a vision. So I want to thank everybody this year, if you're tuning in, for allowing us this opportunity to grow SoulCall Global. We're not even 2 years old yet, and we've done so much. And I want to turn your attention to our store as well. Shameless plug for the merchandise in our SoulCall Global store. Caps, music, and we're also going to have our books available. The Signs and Symbols of Our Ancestors book is available in the store. I think we're going to get that in there this week sometime, but be on the lookout for it. It's certainly available. If you missed the Kickstarter, we hit our goal, and the book is in production right now. A couple weeks out. It might not be ready for Christmas, but you can still order it and have it come later. So we thank you for all that you are and all that you do. And a reminder that our rewind link is working. Last couple weeks, there was some kind of a glitch with it, but Alexis, our amazing web person, fixed it. I want to thank Kathy Rausch too for helping us get started in this vision, but it's fixed. So if you want to join us afterward from 11 to 11:30, we'll have the SoulCall Sunday Rewind. And I want to thank Kara Armstrong also for offering the poetry class. I'm trying to think of everybody. I didn't plan on doing this today. We're going to do it in a newsletter. But please share us with your friends. Share the talks with your friends. Share our newsletter and the website. And help us to grow our conscious global community. Stay connected on Facebook and on YouTube. You can certainly share us as we move into 2022 and the new vision for what is coming ahead in contemplation, creativity, meditation. And remember, wherever you are, being the light today, tomorrow, this week, always remember that you are loved. Peace and blessings.
One family, one people, one planet, one love.